Futuristic Tokyo evokes ideas of urban modernity. The elegant scramble of pedestrians at Shibuya Crossing, tourist information robots and glass skyscrapers with their heads in the clouds. But back down at ground level, Tokyo has a number of beautifully designed parks and gardens where you can escape the concrete jungle and the hustle of city life. Here's where you can find the best parks in Tokyo. 1. Yoyogi Park. If it's a sunny and warm weekend afternoon, you can count on there being a crowd lazing around the huge grassy expanse of Yoyogi Park, Tokyo's most popular green space. In spring, thousands of cherry trees around the city burst into white and pink flowers, and Tokyoites gather with friends for sake-fueled cherry blossom viewing parties called Hanami. Yoyogi is one of Tokyo's largest parks, and it's where you'll find some of the most spirited and elaborate cherry blossom celebrations, complete with barbecues and turntables. Many revelers stay long past dark for Yozakura, night blossoms. In any season, it's an excellent park for a picnic. 2. Hama-Rikyu Gardens. The beautiful Hama-Rikyu Gardens are all that remains of a shogunate summer villa next to Tokyo Bay. There's a large pond with an island, upon which sits a traditional tea house where you can sip matcha. Free guided tours of the garden are offered in English at 11 a.m. on Saturdays and Mondays, except in August. Don't miss the spectacularly manicured 300-year-old black pine tree near the Otemon entrance. A great way to access or depart from the garden is via Tokyo Cruise, which runs water buses from Asakusa to a pier on the garden's edge. 3. Inokashira Park. One of Tokyo's best parks, Inokashira Park has a big pond in the middle flanked by woodsy strolling paths. A highlight is Inokashira Benzaiten, a shrine to one of Japan's 8 lucky gods. On weekends look for musicians, puppeteers and other performance artists around the park, as well as lots of Tokyoites of all ages. You can rent rowboats and swan-shaped pedal boats to take out onto the water. 4. Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden. Completed in 1906, Shinjuku Gyoen was designed as an imperial retreat, and since opening to the public in 1951, it has become a favorite destination for Tokyo residents seeking a quick escape from the hurly-burly of city life. The spacious manicured lawns are perfect for a picnic. Don't miss the greenhouse with tropical plants, the Taiwanese-style pavilion that overlooks the garden's central pond and the cherry blossoms that sprout from the 1,500 trees in spring. 5. Ueno Park. Sprawling Ueno Park is best known for its profusion of cherry trees that burst into blossom in spring, making this one of Tokyo's top spots for cherry blossom viewing. This park is also the location of the city's highest concentration of museums. At the southern tip is the large scenic pond, which sprouts with lotus flowers in summer. Wooded pathways wind past centuries-old temples and shrines, and the entire site was the domain of the temple Kanei-ji during the Edo era. On weekends, look for buskers, acrobats and food vendors. 6. Rikugi-en. Considered by many to be Tokyo's most elegant garden, Rikugi-en was completed in 1702 at the behest of a feudal lord. It is definitely the most highbrow of Tokyo's gardens, designed to evoke scenes from classical literature and mythology. But no context is necessary to appreciate the wooded walkways, stone bridges, central pond, trickling streams and wooden tea houses of this beautifully preserved garden. At one tea house, you can drink matcha al fresco while overlooking the water. There is almost always something in bloom at Rikugi-en, though the garden is most famous for its maple leaves in late autumn. Usually during late November and early December, the park stays open until 9 p.m. and the trees are illuminated after sunset. In spring, the highlight is the large weeping cherry tree near the entrance. 7. Imperial Palace East Garden. Crafted from part of the original castle compound, the lovely Imperial Palace East Garden allows visitors to get close-up views of the massive stones used to build the castle walls, and even climb the ruins of one of the donjons, main keeps, off the upper lawn. The number of visitors at any one time is limited, so it never feels crowded. Don't miss Ninamaru Grove, a woodland area that is one of the prettiest parts of the garden, with a pond and the elegant tea house. Just inside the gate you may want to drop by the Museum of Imperial Collections, which has small exhibits of the 9,500-plus artworks owned by the imperial family. 8. Institute for Nature Study. What would Tokyo look like were it left to its own natural devices? Since 1949, the Institute for Nature Study has let the local flora go wild. There are wonderful walks through its groves, around ponds and on boardwalks over marshes. No more than 300 people are allowed in at a time, which makes for an even more peaceful setting. 9. Kiyosumi Garden. One of Tokyo's most picturesque retreats, Kiyosumi Garden started out in 1721 as the villa of a regional lord under the shoguns. After the villa was destroyed in the 1923 earthquake, Iwasaki Yutaro, founder of the Mitsubishi Corporation, purchased the property. Prized stones from all over Japan were transported here and set around a pond ringed with Japanese black pine, hydrangeas and Taiwanese cherry trees. 10. Koishikawa Korakuen. Established in the mid-17th century as the property of the Tokugawa clan, Koishikawa Korakuen, a formal strolling garden, incorporates elements of Chinese and Japanese landscaping. It's among Tokyo's most attractive gardens. Don't miss the Injetsu-kyo full moon bridge, which dates from the early Edo period, and the beautiful vermilion-colored wooden bridge. The garden is particularly well known for its plum blossoms in February, irises in June and fall leaves. 11. Odaiba Marine Park. There are good views of the central Tokyo skyline from Odaiba Marine Park's promenades and elevated walkways, especially at night when old-fashioned yukata-bune, low-slung wooden pleasure boats, decorated with lanterns, traverse the bay. Even though there's an artificial beach that's a half-mile long, swimming is not permitted here.